I'm so frustrated. Y'all, stop settling. Like, I'm so frustrated. Just this past week, the amount of people that I have talked to about just their life and their job situations and their finance situations and just them being so unhappy and just everything. And it's so frustrating that the way we are brought up to live in this world is that, you know, when you're of age and you can start working, you need to start working, and that, you know, you need to go get a job and work for somebody and work this 8 to 4, 9 to 5 job. And it's like, you know, it's just extremely frustrating because yes, that is the normal way of life for most people. And there's nothing absolutely wrong with that. There are tons of people that are built and made for that, and they are completely okay with that, and they're completely comfortable with that. But then there's people like me, and I'm not comfortable with that. Not that I don't mind working for people. I've worked for tons of people, and I've always loved my jobs. I've always loved my coworkers. I always did great. You know, I've always been the type of worker, like, I don't quit. Like, I give it my all. You know, I'm usually there for a couple years. Like, that's me. That's the type of person I am. I've worked since I was 16. But, you know, up until having things happen in my life, you know, the past 10 years or so of just having kids and now being a mom, you know, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. And I cannot stress enough to y'all how important it is to be happy. If you're working 60 plus hours at a job that you are completely not happy with, and you're not learning anything new because you are doing the same thing every day, constantly in and out, literally the same thing, like, you're not learning, you're bored, you're stuck in the same position, in the same environment, making the same shit pay, whatever it may be, it's like you literally are working your life away for somebody else to be happy. Now granted, like I said, everybody's different, everybody's cut different, everybody is made differently, and just everything, and it's okay. There's tons of people that have those kind of jobs, and that's, you know, they live those jobs and they retire from those jobs and they get great pensions or whatever the hell it may be for them. But like I said, then there's people that are like that, and it's like they know that they want better and they hate where they're at, but, you know, they're so scared to leave because, you know, they're comfortable, and they're comfortable with the comfortability of it. And, you know, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but, you know, it's just they know that them being stuck there, you know, they're not utilizing, they're not gaining any new opportunities, they're really not growing themselves, they're really working and spending their whole life going to work to, yes, make a paycheck and pay for themselves or their family, which is obviously always the goal. That's why people work. You know, life isn't free, but at the same time, like, while you're doing that and losing out on all these opportunities because you're not working on yourself and you're not taking the time to figure you out and do whatever the heck it may be for you, you know, you are literally going to work for that employer, and you are making money in their pockets, and you are just helping them grow. You're building them up, you know, which is great. That's how these businesses grow and they get bigger, and, you know, and that's great for them. That's how it is, and that's how it works. But, like, if you are tired and you don't like being stuck, and you want more for yourself, or you want more in life, or you know, don't want to have to work 2, 3, 4 full-time jobs, whatever the heck it may be, whatever your situation, you know, you're not stuck there. You're not stuck. Like, I know it's scary to have change, and I know that sometimes, you know, things we may want in life may be hard to get, or a little harder, you know, and out of reach for people. But, like, if it's something you really want and you wholeheartedly want it, like, go for it. You only live once. Like, I can tell you right now, if you take, you know, let's say that 60 hours a week you're working at your company, if you take that same 60 hours a week and you're putting it into something you love, or something you want to do, or a business you want to grow, or whatever it may be, like, it's the same 60 hours. It's just, what are you getting out of the 60 hours? You know, are you wanting to work for an employer that's 60 hours and, you know, you're set. You go there, you do the same thing over and over, the routine, and you get comfortable with that routine, and then you're comfortable with that salary, and you may or may not move up a little bit here and there over the years. That's how most places are. But, you know, what's top out? Okay, so what is top out, and are you comfortable with that? Okay, and then you got to think about all the overtime you're working, all the extra hours you're working. Okay, so you're making all that overtime for what? For them to take it in taxes, and then for you, once again, you're building somebody else up instead of you working on you, whatever aspect that may be. And why aren't you working on you? I am, like I said, I've worked since I was 16 years old, and I was trained, I say trained, I was trained, or I was raised and brought up that way of, you know, the 8 to 4, 9 to 5. But I also had my dad where, you know, yes, he may have worked the 8 to 4, 9 to 5, but like he also, you know, did his own thing, and I learned a lot of the business aspects in that because, you know, he owned his own business and did stuff like that. So I got to kind of see both hands, you know, of how it all works out. And there's not one that's easier than another, but I can tell you, me, you know, working for myself and doing for me, you know, those 60 hours that I'm not working for somebody else, like I'm gaining so many different opportunities, and I'm learning so many different things. And, you know, I am in charge of my money. If I want to put in more effort and more work and, you know, go more full force and make more money, I can for myself. You know, I don't ever have to worry about being fired or let go because I'm my own boss. I'm my own me. You know, if you get something, you know, your boss pisses you off or whatever, and you lose that job, well, you know, it sucks because you were dependent on them for that paycheck. So now you have to wait around and, you know, find another person to depend on, whether it be another job, you know, for another company. Some people are, you know, how people are, and some people will find a man, a woman, whatever it may be, to be that income, you know, whatever that dependence is. And it sucks. Like, I've had to be in my life where I've had to depend on people, and I don't mind to have to depend on people to a certain extent. Don't get me wrong, you know, it's nice to have people to do that or whatever, but at the same time, I don't ever want to have to be stuck where I have to depend on somebody else financially, and I won't let that happen again. And so by me being able to pick my own hours and do my own thing, and whenever I want to do it, whatever, you know, I'm not dependent on anybody else. And at the same time, like I said, I'm doing my own thing, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm gaining so many opportunities, whatever. And it's just so frustrating why people, after listening to just different conversations, like I said this week, it's just so frustrating to hear people feel so stuck and so trapped because society is set up to, you know, that's how it is. And people, you know, they're so scared or they're so nervous to take that same energy and just pour it in themselves and to see where that may come. And I get it. That's scary, especially when you're comfortable. But if you're not happy, you only live once. Just live for yourself, whatever that may be. Like, and it may be just finding a different employer, you know, that you like the job better, and whatever. It may be completely stop working for somebody and go work for yourself, you know, create your own business, whatever it may be. Just be happy with what the heck you're doing. Don't don't go work for somebody who's an asshat, okay? No, nobody deserves to be treated like crap. I don't care how rich you are or how poor you are. Don't treat people like crap. Have some decency and respect. But two, especially if you hate the job, why are you going there physically and working for the people that you hate and just putting more money in their pockets? That makes no sense. Just make it make sense. Whatever your decision is, make it make sense for you. That's all I really can say, because it's crazy. It's crazy. But I can tell you, no matter which option and which direction you go to make yourself happy, you know, it may take a minute to get there because not everything happens overnight, but you will be so thankful that you did, that you just took it in your own hands to make yourself happy. Yeah, that's what I got for today, because my mind is just blown, and I wish I could do things for people, but I can't because they have to really do it themselves. I can't do it for them, but I really wish I could sometimes.